Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel on Excel series. So I would urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll actually get more videos when I upload them. And I would also want us to create a very big community when it comes to Excel analytics. So kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Then you might also want to consider checking on my X account. So this is my X account. So this is my X account. Kindly follow. So I will actually be doing some posts on Excel analytics, what you should actually do, the hacks and everything. So that's all. Now let's actually do the work here. So you'll actually realize that when it comes to the lookup functions, we always have a lot of them. For example, we have the VLOOKUP functions, we have the XLOOKUP function, we have the HLOOKUP function, but in my case, I would actually want us to check on the VLOOKUP function. So when it comes to the VLOOKUP function, we actually have what you call the approximate match and the exact match. So for the approximate match scenario, I have this scenario here, or this example here, and this other example there. So the approximate tax given the sales. So in this point here, we have the sales and the tax rate. So we have from 0, that is 3%, and this is 200,001, 4%, 400,001, 5%, 600,001, 6%, 800,001, 7%, 1,000,001, that's 8%. Now, how do you actually interpret this? So let's first of all interpret this before we actually go into obtaining the approximate tax rates for this sales here, which is 190,000, 550,000, and 875,000. So let's actually interpret this first. So this actually means it's a range of 0 to 200,000. Why am I actually saying 0 to 200,000? Because the next one actually starts from 200,001. So this actually means it's 200,001 to 400,000. Why 400,000? Because the next one actually starts from 400,001. So this is a range of 400,001 all the way to 600,000. Why 600,000? Because the next one actually starts from 600,001, which will go all the way up to 800,000. And the next one will also start from 800,001 all the way to 1 million. And the last one will actually start from 1,000,001, yes, upwards. And these are the respective tax rates. So what do we actually do when we have the sales to be 190,000? Because in this point here, you can actually check that I have 0, I have 200,001, I have 400,001, 600,001, 800,001, 1,000,001. I do not have 190,000. I do not have 550,000. Neither do I have 875,000. So 190,000 is basically in between 0 to 200,000. Yes. So we expect the approximated tax rate to be equivalent to 3%. So that's where the idea of approximate match actually comes in. So we actually approximate that 190,000 is somewhere in between 0 to 200,000. And because it's somewhere in between 0 to 200,000, the approximated tax rate will be equivalent to 3%. So that's our expectation. So the reason why we are actually calling it approximate match is that this 190,000 is not actually clearly visible here. So it's actually within the range, but not visible in my values here. So it's within the range. Same to 550,000. You can actually check that I do not have 550,000. Neither do I have 875,000. So it's actually within the range, and we have to approximate the tax rates. So let's actually go into obtaining the first tax rate for the sales being equivalent to 190,000. So it's equivalent to VLOOKUP like that. Then you actually open, it will ask you for the lookup value. The lookup value is actually the sales in which you would want to obtain the tax rate for. So my sales is actually equivalent to 190,000, which is actually on cell G21, comma. It will ask you for the table array. This is my table array, just like that. My table array contains sales column and the tax rate column. Sales column is actually column 1 in my table array. Tax rate column is actually column 2 of my table array. Just like that. It will ask you for the column index number. So in this point, we would actually want to obtain the tax rate. So we would actually want to return the tax rate. And tax rate is actually in column number 2 of my table array. This is my table array. This is column 1 of my table array. And this is column 2 of my table array. So this being column 2 of my table array, I will have the column index number to be equivalent to 2, like that, comma. It will ask you, are you obtaining the approximate match or are you obtaining the exact match? In this case, I'm obtaining the approximate match because we do not actually have a sale of 190,000 in this point here, but we will actually be doing the approximation by using the range. So we'll actually double click on this approximate match. So it will actually be equivalent to 2. Whenever you actually see true or 1, just know that is what you call the approximate match. Approximate match is always given by true or 1. That is approximate match. Close like that, hit enter on the keyboard, you have 3%. So double click on this point again and replace that true with 1. So true and 1 are actually the same thing. So it will actually get you the same 3%. So double click on this point here so that you can feel the rest. So 190,000 is actually equivalent to 3%. Yes, 190,000 is in between 0 to 200,000, which is actually a tax rate of 3%. 550,000 is actually in between 400,001 to 600,000, which is actually a tax rate of 5%. 875,000 is actually in between 800,001 to 1 million, which is actually a tax rate of 7%. Yeah, that's all. Now you can actually check that it's very simple, and you will actually realize that VLOOKUP is actually these functions are actually case insensitive. You can still use VLOOKUP small. You can still use VLOOKUP that is in the lower case, and it will still get you the same result. Yes, it will actually get you the same result. So there's no difference. Now, in this site here, I've actually been working on it so that I can finish some items. So you can actually come to this point here, and I can actually get you a discount on my courses on this point here. You can actually check that I have AI in BI, AI in Excel core visualization, many of them. So VLOOKUP is actually somewhere in this point here. Yes, so VLOOKUP will actually be here. And you can actually check that the price is actually $87. This is data lookup and reference. So this is where we have VLOOKUP. You can actually check that. So I can actually get you all these courses at a very good discount. So with $100, I can get you all this on my Google Drive. So just $100 and I will actually add you to my Google Drive. So from beginner, yes, to intermediate to advanced. There are so many indeed, and I'll actually guarantee you that you will have a mastery of Excel after completing all these videos. So with just $100, I will get you all this, just $100. So before I actually come up with a fully functional site, yes, I will actually be getting you at a discount. I will add you to my Google Drive. You won't actually. And when the site is actually done, I will not actually get you out of the access. You will still have the access when the site is done. I will add you to the site because this is what you will actually access for the rest of your life. So just like that. And you can also get me some tasks in this point here. You can actually check that I have the monthly retainers, cloud in Excel prompting. I have the, I can also do for you the dashboards and charts, automation, pivot tables and models, Power BI, financial forecast, templates management, all this, yes, monthly rate of $550 per month. So in this point too, you can actually check that I have the AI powered dashboard design, $150, AI data analysis and insights, $200, AI automation and smart macros, $250, AI enhanced Power BI report, which is $300. And so those are actually the tasks you can actually get me as I try to finish everything. And still you can get me the work for the templates. I can get you the templates and I can also manage for you. So there are several templates you can actually get $19, $12, $17, but I can actually manage for you templates every month at $50. So that's it. So for you to actually get me the work to be done, my email is actually here. So you can hit on this email and you will actually communicate. Now, in this point here, I would actually want us to check on this scenario number 2. So I would actually want us to check on how we can obtain the grades given the scores. So these are actually the scores, yes, and these are actually the grades. So we have the scores and we have the grades. So this is 0, it's E, that one it's D, 41 is actually a C, 51 is a B, 61 is an A, 75 is an A plus. So we have actually been told to obtain the grades given that the scores are 33, 57, and 72. 33, we do not have 33 on this point here. Neither do we have 57 and neither do we have 72. So this actually tells us that it's 0 to 30 is an A. So 0 to 30 because the next one actually starts from that one. So this is 31 to 40, which is a D. And this is 41 to 50, which is a C. This is 51 to 60, which is a B. This is 61 to 74, which is an A plane. And this is 75 and above, which is an A plus. So just like that. And now let's actually go into obtaining the grades. So clearly you can check that 3 is actually in between that 1 to 40, which is actually a D. So let's actually confirm that by using the VLOOKUP function. So it's equivalent to VLOOKUP like that. You open, it will ask you for the lookup value. The lookup value are actually the scores which you would like to obtain the grades for. So it's actually on L21 and the table array, this is my table array, and in this table array, score is actually on column number 1 of my table array and grade is actually column number 2 of my table array. Just like that, another comma, it will ask you for the column index number. In this point, I would actually want to return the grade, and grade is actually on column number 2 of my table array. This is column number 1 of my table array. This is column number 2 of my table array. 2 like that, comma. It will also ask you, are you obtaining the approximate match or the exact match? I'm obtaining the approximate match because these scores are actually within the ranges. They are not exactly what are displayed on this point here. They are within the ranges. So you close like that and you hit enter on the keyboard. I have a D plane. So just double click on this point here. And now you have that 3 is actually a D plane. So it's actually in this point here between that 1 to 40. You have that 3, which is actually a D. 57 is actually a B plane. So 57 is actually in between 51 to 60, which is actually a B plane. 72 is actually in between 61 to 74, which is actually an A plane. Just like that. So that's all. Now in the next video, I will also want us to check on how we can do when. Now in the next video, I'll also show you how we can deal with the exact match. So kindly follow my YouTube channel and follow me on my X account and get me the task so that you can actually build this community together. That's all, and let's stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching.